Hi, and welcome back to Comic Book Gallery. I'm your host, Joaquin, and now I'm going to walk on stage. Hi, everybody. My name is Joaquin Avila. I'm your host for Comic Book Gallery. I know most of you aren't used to seeing me. To my 20 subscribers, thank you. 5 of them, which are friends, thanks for having my back. So I know my first appearance on YouTube and I look like a hobo, but there's a good reason for that. I'm here at PFC Games here in Linwood, Washington, while the store is closed filming. So he's closed uh, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So it is really cold in here. That's why I'm wearing these gloves so I can still work. And I thought I'd make my first video because I'm just trying to get used to being on film now. My brand, Comic Book Gallery, I'm going to be doing eBay and Patreon. So for my Patreon, I'm going to be teaching little kids how to draw because I'm an artist from ages first grade through third. So now I'm just getting used to being on camera. The videos I've made before, while I've enjoyed making these videos and talking about what I have a strong passion for, which are comic books, which I got started in, I was a sophomore in high school, if I believe correctly. And I started collecting, no, not started collecting, and I stopped like at the end of 2000 after the bubble had popped, and I was kind of done for a while. So I sold off virtually everything, including a lot of keys, which I regret. And then around 2003 to 2007, I slowly, sporadically would get back into collecting books, but nothing hardcore. Around 2011, I started back up again and took a little break up until recently of this year in April or towards the end of March, I started back up again. So now that my short intro is over, I want to talk to you about the books that I picked up for my weekly haul and why I picked them up. So first up is What If, X-Men #1. There you can see the cover. The reason why I picked this book up was, first of all, it's What If. When I was growing up, I used to love What Ifs. They used to have all these crazy storylines, and some of them were really good. I'm an X-Men fan. That's the first book I started off with. My first favorite character was Wolverine. And then after that, it was Kitty Pryde and Colossus and Nightcrawler. I haven't had a chance to read these books because I just picked them up and started doing a little bit of research for the other books that I picked up because I had to check to see what the price off of eBay. So the next book up is Doctor Strange. I want to say this is number 6. Now, I don't read Doctor Strange. While I do enjoy him as a character, I like him more in group settings. I hardly ever read his solo books unless it's a link in to some other storyline that I'm reading. As I mentioned before, I'm an artist, and it was the other reason why I picked up this book. Great use of colors, and when I mean great use of colors, so you have this bright yellow in the background, which pops, okay? So if you use yellow or bright color, that makes things closer. If you use blue, purple, depending on how dark the red is, browns, dark greens, it pushes the image back. So now that you know that, because of the yellow background and with the light green, it's already pushing this figure, Doctor Strange, forward. Next, you see this like intensity in his eyes. And the way he's casting this spell, you know whoever that spell is going to hit is going to take a butt whooping. I would use other adjectives, but I'm trying to keep this PG. Next, I'm trying to, I don't want to cover this up, and I'm hoping that you can see this. The perspective of the foreshortening on the forearm and this hand in particular, and the way the fingers are, has a nice flow with the overall. And the reason why I bring this up is because I'm going to comment about another book that I picked up because I like the cover, but the perspective was a little off. But if you're a Doctor Strange fan and you're reading Doctor Strange, this is definitely a variant that you want. Next up is Batman 56. I occasionally read Batman on and off, but I did pick this up because of the gold cover. I thought it looked cool. And it's even a wraparound where it's, shiny in the back too. I haven't had a chance to read these books. Pretty sure I've already said that before, but just to say. But I did flip through a couple of pages on a few of them. And in this one in particular, I just wanted to show. So on page 2, nice splash page. Just gets you right into the book run. And then you see the other action going on. Oh. I don't want to ruin my book showing you this image. Okay. Next up is X-Men Black. So I've been anticipating this book since I saw it on a preview, number 1. This is a variant cover with Magneto. And I hope you get the whole image on that. As you can tell from my other videos, I am new to filming, video editing. So I'm learning. So I hope you guys just bear with me. But the reason why I picked up... Sorry, you have a little pause there as I gather my thoughts. The reason why I picked up X-Men Black was, like I said before, I'm a huge X-Men fan. But to have them do a series on these villains, and I believe that each one of these will have a separate apocalypse story, so we'll go with that. But I've always felt that Magneto was a villain for the X-Men of necessity, in the sense of, while he's done some bad things and some effed up things, he's a necessary, I don't really want to say the word evil, but what he does, he believes is necessary. So it's one of the ends justify the means type of person. So I've always enjoyed him being an X-Men villain. At times he's helped the team. He's helped Xavier teach the school. So even though I've heard some mixed reviews about this, I'm going to read it and hopefully I will enjoy it. I'm pretty sure I will, but because I'm an X-Men fan, so unless it really sucks, I doubt that it's not going to make me not want to collect the next one, because the next one I believe is Mojo, who is a fun and interesting villain, and we'll get more into him next week. I think it's next week when it comes out, or when it comes out next month. Don't know the schedule offhand. And now here's a book coming up next that made me break budget. So Deadpool, I gotta remember not to touch the table. Deadpool number 5. So this is just a regular cover, and I heard that there was a rumor that they were going to pull this book because Marvel did not get Topps permission, and Topps owns the Garbage Pail Kids. I didn't get a second copy for that because, first of all, this is not a limited print run. This is not a variant. This is whatever the normal print run is for Deadpool. Why I got it because my brother as a kid used to collect Garbage Pail Kids, and when I saw the image and heard about it was coming out, I had to pick it up. So I picked up 2, and that's what took me over budget. Now there is a little controversy already. So as you know, DC did the Batwang, and if you look closely, you can see Deadpool is licking a lollipop, but the way that they drew it now looks like we have Dead Wang or Wang Pool. But either way, they had to go there. I understand that it's trick or treat and they had him licking a lollipop, but they have to draw it to make it look like the Dead Wang coming out of his mouth. So I normally do not read Deadpool. I think he's a fun character when he's in a group, or when he was the antagonist when New Mutants during his first appearance. But if I see a cool cover of his, I will buy it. Which brings me up to the other variant that I bought. I had to go to a second store to pick this up because the first one was all jacked up, and I didn't want to pick up my second copy of it being like that. The first store did not have the Deadpool number 5 variant, which is Gwenpool. But the second store it did have it, so I picked that up, and that took me over budget. And the reason why I'm trying to stay under budget of like 20 a week is most books that are on your pool list that you get every week, if you just leave them on the shelf, the odds are that most of those books will still be there. And I'm trying to help people who are new into collecting comic books. If you just keep a budget of a week of 20 books for the new stuff that you enjoy reading, and then just save up that for the end of the month, you can pick up some nice keys that are under 100, or start saving up for an expensive key of your favorite character or group. The reason why I bought this, once again, great use of color. So you have the yellow popping out the character, you have the pink and the white going on, like the grenades, like the action, even though with the arm up in the air like this, it's a little off with the flow. So, and this is what I'm talking about. So basically it's like this. And it's just weird how they have, I hope you see that. So it's just weird how they have that perspective on there. And the gun almost looks like a toy water gun. I know they're trying to keep it pink, and I'm just assuming that this is a hybrid type of assault rifle, but similar. Yeah, it looks like a assault rifle because you got the magazine. But I'm just not. Overall, I'm not trying to thrash the book or the cover because I did like it. I liked it so much that I bought it. But for those of people out there who are artists and want to learn something, learn to create a little bit interesting more poses. What makes this cover is the use of color and the beginning of a good pose. Except for this arm's okay, and I'm not digging the gun. But right here with her leg, the way it is, and this coming out right here, if you want to learn how to do foreshortening or to do action scenes, if you're an artist, I'll put this back here while I talk. Just get a friend, whether it's a male or female, doesn't matter. But if you're trying to draw a female, ask a female friend. Then just have her just lay on the ground or lay on a bed or a nice flat surface. And that way you'll have a nice 3D perspective of whatever angle you're trying to do. So even if she's just laying down, you could have her or him just pull up his legs a little bit and put his arms out and do some kind of leaping in the air, or they can kick their leg out and do, the Bruce Lee pose. Whoa! And even if they're on the ground, you can just take a few pictures of that, you could adjust it to make it look like it's in the air. After all, that's your job. You're an artist. You're supposed to take a flat space and put a 3D image on it, or whatever you feel like doing. So that's my art lessons for the day. I hope you have enjoyed what you've been seeing so far. If you do, hit the like button. You can talk about art. You can agree with me about my suggestions or what you would do or what you didn't like. If you think that Deadpool, if they're going to pull the cover, if you like the artist's choice to imply that the dead wang's coming out of his mouth, I know it's just a little catchy, but I didn't think that was necessary. And now we're coming to the last part of my show, where I usually, at the end of most of my videos, I show you what I've been picking up on eBay. And the reason why I've been picking that up on eBay is because I have a budget, and I've been cutting from buying new books. Because I used to buy $40 to $70 a week for new books. And once I started dropping that down to 20 or less, give or take, I know I overspent on this for these two variants. I'm able to buy other books in other key issues. So I was able to pick this up, the Carnage series of 1 through 5, with the Venom movie coming out tomorrow. I just got this in after I paid $60 for it. Well, that's what the winning bid was, but after discounts, I was able to knock this down to $35 with shipping, so I was really happy about that. So even at $60, and I didn't have any discounts with shipping, I still would have bought this, because where I'm at, their dollar bin selections, there's like 2 or 3 comic book stores that I'm close by to. They're not that good. And to go into the city where I'm at, because I live in Linwood, it's like 35, 40 minutes. So we're talking 30, 40 minutes. Then depending on what time that I come back in traffic, that's like an hour. So if I don't pull good pulls, that's a waste of my time and gas for me. For other people, that's cool, but I would rather just hunt stuff down on eBay, and that's what I'm doing. So I bought this book, or bought these books, because one, I really do like the covers, and I'm going to tell you why I like the covers, and two, for the hype of the Venom movie, which I heard is not getting that many good reviews. Hopefully they're wrong, but if they are, that means that the first appearance of Carnage most likely will drop a little bit, which is a good time to start buying. And if it does, it will maintain the current price, maybe a slight little bump. And then about 2 or 3 months after the movie, you'll see it dip down for again. So if you had a chance to buy the first appearance of Carnage 3 months or a year ago, that was the best time to buy. If you're new to collecting comic books, you got to know when to start buying books and setting yourself a budget, which means if a book goes over a budget and it's something that you really want, you're going to have to make that decision whether you buy it or not. Or you just let it pass by. You know, another opportunity, another book will always come along. For those people, we're now, this is now 2018, who are getting in 2016, 17, 18. There are so many keys and first appearances to collect. You're not going to be able to collect them all. So in previous videos, I've stated that you should, whatever it is you enjoy reading, whether it's a individual superhero like Spider-Man, or a group like Avengers or X-Men or West Coast Avengers or whoever, start there. Because whatever you collect, you're going to enjoy collecting. So it doesn't matter what the price you pay, and it doesn't matter if the prices rise or fall. It's always good to have your book go, hey, this book just went up $5, and you feel good about yourself. Or, hey, this book just went down $10, and you're like, but you don't care because you like this book. So it doesn't matter what you bought in. What you bought in is the price that it was worth to you at that moment. So now I'll get off my little soapbox, and I'll tell you why I picked these up. I picked these up because these were great covers, and after seeing them, you should all agree. I can't see anybody saying, no, these are not great looking covers. So Carnage #1, I have not had a chance to read these. Looking forward to reading these, but even if I would have never read these books, I bought them for the cover. I'm happy with the price I paid. Next up is, we have the theme of Carnage and the American flag, and this one, and hence the name of the cover is Carnage USA. He's dressed up like Uncle Sam. So it was this cover, and while I enjoy the first cover, it was this cover, and I want to say it's number 4 coming up, is the reason why I bought this whole collection. Here we go. Carnage #3. This is cool. I'm hoping this is coming up perfect, because I really don't feel like editing videos, so I'm just going to go as I go. So I hope I get this in focus, because I don't want to have to film this again. And number 4 is the reason, was number 2, the reason why I picked up this book. So you have Spider-Man, or Carnage using Spider-Man as a puppet, That was a great cover. These are all great covers. Great use of color, perspective. It's just, this is, I wish more artists would use some of these examples in their books, because I stopped reading the new version of Thor because the artwork I couldn't take anymore. It was too cluttered. The colors all blended together. And while the style of his art and the color use, or maybe it's a she or that person's art, is good like in a dream sequence for an issue or two, but to continue it through the whole book, and I know some people like it, but for me personally, I don't. And I know it's abstract in a sense, but that's not my thing. And last up is Carnage USA, number 5. So that'll wrap up the series. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And that'll do it this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And take care. And now I got to walk around the table again because I got to turn off this camera. I should hire somebody. I haven't got my eBay money up yet. I haven't got my eBay account yet. All right, take care, people.